Welcome.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field.
And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
So here's the first drive now for the Jags.
They'll be led out by a man who took that huge jump everyone had hoped for in year two. One of the game's brightest young stars, and that's Trevor Lawrence.
And you want to talk about enormous expectations being placed on a quarterback. How about what Trevor Lawrence faced coming out of college? But the good thing for him, he's used to it. He had the same type of expectations to be a franchise savior, whatever team he joins. And to his credit, he shouldered those expectations and he's doing everything in his power to follow through.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
Now Lawrence. A quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
That was the first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt.
Britton Covey deep for Philadelphia.
Pulled in at the 24. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
So here come the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, led out by a man who was the runner-up to Patrick Mahomes at MVP balloting a season ago. Of course, that's Jalen Hurts.
And we already knew that Hurts was a good quarterback. But last year, he moved to elite status. Under his guidance, the Eagles returned to the Super Bowl and nearly won it. And he's also one of the league's most dangerous players. Thrown for 38 touchdowns his last 2 seasons and run for another 23.
Oh, he sheds himself free. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all Lebanon defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
He's going to wind up and air it out. This is caught inside the 15. A big play there for Philly. 46 yards.
I guess we got a good idea about what the game plan is for attacking the secondary. No beating around the bush with this crew. His first throw of the game is a deep shot, and it connects. That's a tendency breaker right there because normally you build up to the big shot, but not in this case.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Swift going to try up the middle.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
DeAndre Swift
taking it in from 11 yards out.
And the Eagles get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. They got it done.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Mission here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll run with Etienne.
And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
They suspected that there was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
On 2nd down, a run with Etienne.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
But Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean. They can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So take over. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
Complete to Zacchaeus. And he'll be out of bounds. Give him a gain of 38.
Despite writing it down in my notes, I've never given enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one.
Previous play is under review.
The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
They'll try to run it in, going option right. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Swift is into the end zone for an Eagle touchdown. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter. He's got both of them.
He's certainly setting himself up for a big game here. And I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it as we resume action. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Lawrence's throw into the hands of Kirk. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Lawrence. And one more time, here's Kirk. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
A 7-yard pickup. Brings up second.
Now 2nd and 3.
At the 47-yard line.
Running the jet sweep with Ridley. Oh, this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Lawrence. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far, offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 16. Escapes the defender. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
It almost pushed them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now. It's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down. Throwing is Hurts. This is caught. Touchdown, Eagles. DeAndre Swift on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. The Jaguars again ready to take over on offense. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but
the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
On second down, Etienne once more.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Lawrence hitting the ball.
Over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
Well, we may not see it behind the big play sheet that they like to use, but I'll bet there's a big grin on the defensive coordinator's face. A corner blitz, what we often call a cat blitz. Usually they disguise it, Brandon. You're up on a receiver. It looks like you're going to bump and run with him, press coverage, and then he just takes off straight for the quarterback, and someone comes behind him to pick up the receiver.
And as a former member of the secondary, it makes you happy too, doesn't it?
I can't lie about it. I've got a big grin on my face, too. That was a heck of a play, a heck of a call.
And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. A 16-yard touchdown.
And the Eagles are able to widen their lead here in this first half. It's not too often that you say, hey, this one's going to be over by halftime. And, CD, I know our bosses probably don't want us to say that because they don't want people clicking away. But this one might be over by halftime.
And since you've already put your job on the line by actually saying it, I will co-sign and go with you because you're my partner. We don't mean to do it, but this game has been exactly as you've described. I see no hope for them going forward.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it is 28-0. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units in there. Kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25.
They'll try and set up the screen to Etienne.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
3rd and 9 here.
Lawrence will throw.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
This is taken at the 23. A field flipper there, a 47-yard punt coupled with a loss on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for it.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, 81 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
So this now 34-0 with the extra point pending. And, Charles, I thought these guys might have the advantage coming in. but I didn't expect this.
Well, I'm glad we're going with full transparency here because I didn't either. I thought we might be looking at a 24-20 type game, maybe 13-10 at the half. But this has been total, utter domination.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes this 35-0 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. The Jaguars back with it on offense. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Now Lawrence.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown.
DeAndre Swift
On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns.
And the Eagles would extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it is 42-0.
Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1-play drive and into the end zone for 6. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Jaguars ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide.
Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Well, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. The Eagles got a solid first half from last year's MVP runner-up, Jalen Hurts. He was nothing short of amazing, throwing 4 touchdown passes to help push his guys out to a sizable halftime lead. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Boston Scott on the return from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. DeAndre Swift and the Eagles back out there.
He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the...
Open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down.
So this play, until recently, only something you'd probably expect to see in a college game, but running quarterbacks are certainly in vogue, and this turned into a big play.
And you and I both know that for a long time, coaches worried about their quarterbacks taking too much punishment running plays like this, and they still worry about it. But when you can break up big chunks of yardage like that, it's worth the risk. Plus, you're coaching that quarterback to see those guys coming and get down before the big hit occurs.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
On second down, Swift.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
That's to his running back, complete. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
I didn't like the play call. I loved it. Running situation for sure on 4th and short. They got the defense to commit too many men in the box to stop the run and have the guts to go for the pass instead. And as a result, they're set up 1st and goal.
Here's Swift.
And he pushes forward, but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Stop short of the goal line. It's a gain of a yard. Brings up
Oh, he fakes a spike.
And that'll be caught.
A touchdown saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Give them the completion. No gain, but let's focus in on that tackle. Open field tackling. The hardest thing to do in the game, I believe.
But when you get outside the tackle box, it becomes a numbers game. The defense had more than they could block.
They'll run with Swift.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown.
DeAndre Swift
taking it in from a yard out.
And the Eagles take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. and that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll set up to throw from the gun. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
The offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now Lawrence. They've got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the third quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback, because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after him.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Nolan Smith brings him down on the pass rush.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the lead. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 88 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage. You got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down the game.
Touchdown! DeAndre Swift, 31 yards. And the Eagles add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Elliott good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. The Jaguars getting set to go. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage.
And looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest, but now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick them off for the second time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly, but they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive. On the other side, they've had trouble stopping him not only on the ground but through the air. He's hit the century mark running the ball. He's approaching that receiving it.
I'm starting to think, Brandon, we're going to have to start judging running backs by a little bit different standard, and we know the gold standard now is 1,000 yards running the football. But I think we got to start looking at all-purpose yards, yards from scrimmage. That's probably a better measure of what you're getting from these backs, because look at the game we're getting here. He's running well, but overall his damage has been done catching it.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see if that will continue. Right back to Swift again on second down. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Well, Charles, just impressive in all 3 phases. Offense, defense, special teams have really done their job. And here the offense doing its part yet again with another score in the fourth quarter.
I know it seems like something we shouldn't do because the scoreboard does tell it all. But let's set it aside for a moment. This game was absolutely memorable with how they played it. Really terrific effort, really well executed. Congratulations to them.
Elliott good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get sensibly.
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be defensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Oh, my goodness. Now that is going to be out of bounds on a free kick. And that's a big mistake. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Automatic first down.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And give him another 6. It's called for a touchdown. And the blowout continues. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Elliott on for the extra point. And oh, it's wide right. No good.
Jake Elliott taking off for Philadelphia.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's 3rd and 7.